What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, got another review for you today, and this one is on a folding knife from Shieldon Knives. Okay, I actually got like 3 or 4 different folding knives from Shieldon right now. I've been kind of playing around with them, checking them out. I'm really digging them. I like their style, and for the price and quality kind of build of these knives, I think they're holding up pretty damn well. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna get into the first one today, guys. We're gonna be dropping a series of videos on all of the Shieldon knives that I got a hold of, and let's get into this first one, guys. This is Shieldon knives. Like I said, this is the now I don't know how exactly to say this. Tranchodon, Tranchodon, something like that. I don't know. If you know how to say it, I would say leave it in the comments, but of course I wouldn't be able to hear that. But my Shieldon knives came with this nice little kind of carrying case, little Velcro thing. It's got a little belt strap on the back, but these are folding pocket knives, and this is the Tranchodon. Man, I wish I really knew if I was saying that right. But guys, check this thing out, man. This is definitely a bigger folder. It's got this reverse Tonto style with this acid etched 67 layer Damascus look to it. Very, very cool knife. This thing actually fits my hand very well. Obviously, you guys know, if you watch my channel, I wear XL gloves. I got big old meat paws. This fits my hand nicely. It fills my hand just right. In the forward or reverse grip, I can put my thumb right over the back. Very cool blade. It has this nice green color to it. And, when we get out to the testing area, it'll be in the sun a little bit. You'll be able to see that a little bit better. But look at that. Very, very beautiful knife. I mean, it's super cool. Looks nice. Has a nice lanyard hole in there. Nice pocket clip. The pocket clip is not reversible, though, so it is a right side carry. I mean, you could carry it left side if you needed to, but it would be just kind of like a reverse draw. But it does not have the reversible pocket clip. Pocket clip is very nice as well. It's going to do its job. But very cool looking knife. Let's get into the specs on this really quick. So again, this is the Tranchodon. That's how I'm going to say it, Tranchodon. Your blade thickness, you're looking at 0.14. You have a blade length of 3.66, a total length of 8.43. So again, it's not like it's not a tiny knife by any means. Closed, you're looking at 4.76. It does fit in my pocket nicely with my phone or my keys. It doesn't get in the way, even though it is a larger knife. It fits nicely. Again, it's 4.76 closed. The handle thickness is 0.65. The weight on this is 5.61 ounces. I actually got a. Don't tell my wife I stole the food measuring things. Keep on down low. Let's clear this out. All right, we got 0.00. Let's set this on here. I'm measuring 5.58 ounces, so pretty darn close. Actually, a little less than what they're saying on their website. This is 9CR18 MOV steel. The claims on the website 67 layer Damascus with a 58 to 60 Rockwell hardness, reverse Tonto, and it has cage ceramic bearings, and it is a liner lock. Locks up really nicely, opens and closes nicely. I mean, it's just a nice click there. I mean, I like that. Well, I don't even have my microphone on, guys. There we go. We're going to turn that microphone. Yep, we're good. The camera I have has good things, but I wanted to go. Yeah, you hear that nice click noise, right? I like that. I like the just when you hear that, it's got a nice solid lockup. There is no blade play left or right, front to back. I mean, it's locked up nicely. The liner lock, it's got about, I would say it's about a good. I would say, I don't know, it might be hard to see on there, but it's about a 75% onto the blade, I would say. Like the lever moving over. I don't know exactly the terminology we use for describing that, but we're definitely going to test this liner lock out. We're going to see how well it holds up because we are going to go over there and we're going to do some testing on this. Now, folding knives obviously aren't meant to be batoning wood and doing a lot of wood processing, things like that, right? They're just not built to do that. So obviously you're always going to want to use the right tool for the right job. This is, more for everyday cutting task, cutting rope, maybe boxes, opening up your Amazon packages, whatever. Maybe if you work in construction, you're cutting open bags of concrete or whatever. But is this something that's going to be kind of good for doing that? Well, we're going to find out. I mean, this thing's definitely got a very, very, this reverse Tonto is pretty cool because I really like, you do have a fuller here and then it dips down. So like if you had to come up here, you could put your finger like this for some more precision work. But does triangle down to a very nice tip right there. And we're going to see how strong that tip is as well, guys, because we're going to be doing a little bit of stabbing with this. I'm trying to get a good look at there for it. You can, well, let's see if we can spidey flick this open. I think you can. So you do have that fuller there. So let's see if we can get my thumb in there. I can't quite get my thumb in there. Not my thumb, my middle finger. Yeah, it's the detent on here is pretty good. So it's a little bit, I can't quite get my big old finger in there to give it the old spidey flick. I can do it with my thumb. Yeah, I can do it with my thumb. I can get my thumb on there, but it does have this nice big flipper on the back here. So definitely get your finger on there and get this thing open, put it to work if you needed to. So without further ado, guys, let's get over to this testing area and let's see what this bad boy can do. It's got a nice edge. Damn, that is. I'm gonna get this out in the sun so you can see that pattern a lot better. It's very, very nice. All right, guys, let's get over to the testing area. All right, everybody, we're over at the testing area. Again, I wanted to get this out in the sun, get you guys a nice look at that. You can see that pattern. Very, very nice looking blade. Very, very cool. I love the handle, the way it looks, the colors of it. And what's kind of cool is this is called a Tranchodon, which I didn't look it up, but it could be a dinosaur or something like that, or a reptile of some sort. But what's kind of cool is that we can see if we can see this on here. But if you can tell, right along here, there's little ridges, almost like what would be on an alligator's back, kind of like raised scales. You guys check that out, and it's on both sides. And I think it's just is it functional? Does it do anything to make the blade better? No, but I think it gives it just like this really cool look, and it's just a nice little aesthetic touch to the blade. And I also think it speaks a little bit to like the quality and the attention of detail that Shieldon is trying to put into their knives and stuff, right? It gives it a little bit extra. And one thing I say is like holding this knife, feeling around, everything feels nice and flush. Everything feels tight. I don't see any separation between handle liners and the liners and the in the blade. The blade is centered up nicely. I mean, opens and closes smoothly. I mean, it's very, oops, popped it open there. Almost dropped shut. And the more you open and close this, that'll get even smoother as it goes along. So I just think it's they are paying attention to some details and trying to make these blades very nice. And for the prices that they're coming in at, that's pretty good. I've got some junk on here. All right, so let's get into this, guys. So now remember, guys, this isn't necessarily, we ain't going to be batoning through a bunch of wood. We might do a little, maybe a small piece or something, but just to kind of test that liner lock out. But remember, this is mostly, a knife that you're going to use for, let's say, cutting off some clothes off of somebody. Let's say there was a accident or, whatever, you got into a bicycle accident, you skinned your knee and you got to cut your pant leg off to see how bad it is, right? So can you come in here? Look at that. Nicely done. I mean, that tip, again, pierces very well. Cuts right through the jean material. Absolutely. Getting into the rope cutting, right? So here's some 550 paracord. It's kind of some cheapy stuff, but it serves its purpose. I'll cut right through that easily. So if you had to come in here, do some rope cutting, things like that, you can. Now, would I suggest chopping with a folding knife? Absolutely not. Again, it's not something that it's necessarily designed to do, but I'm testing these out for you guys so you can see kind of at least a level of how much these knives can take before maybe the lock mechanism fails or anything like that. But we're going to just got these two pieces of the 550 cord. Bam, cut them all right in half. left and right, it's still pretty tight. Now, that wasn't like, you know, ham on banging, but again, that's not something most people are going to do with their knife. So I try to be a little bit more realistic with my testing videos. I will kind of push the limit a little bit, but not go overboard. So, and I know some of you guys that watch a lot of my videos have heard me say that time and time again. I kind of repeat it for people who are new to the channel, so please bear with me. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, comment, you know, share with your friends. I appreciate it. So, bam, got this kind of cheapy ratchet strap, but you know, again, this is something that a lot of people use on a day-to-day basis, and for whatever reason, maybe it got tangled up while you were heading down the road and you got to cut it off to get to the load that you had packed up, right? So something that you would do with this folding knife, absolutely. Look at it. Bunch of nice clean cuts right there. Let's do one. Let's do a little kind of slice cut like this. Oh yeah, so cuts right through. I did that because I wanted to stack this up at least 4 deep, and I'm gonna do a little stab right here. Yep, all 3 on there. Actually stabbed through this one too, but it just didn't pick it up. But yeah, stabbed right through into the wood stump. Wanted to check that tip because it is a very acute tip, and it is still needlepoint sharp, guys. So nicely done. But we are going to test the stabbing a little bit more. We're going to press this thing a little bit more than that. So ratchet strap, 550 cord, got that right. So here we got some thicker blue kind of cotton poly rope stuff. You know, it's just a general kind of rope that, you know, people, I cut right through that. As I was saying that, I could hear it cutting right through. Yeah. Cutting through without a problem. Stuff's typically not that hard to cut, but you know, bam, nice little chop right there. Again, every time I do that, it's more for, again, testing that edge and testing the lockup mechanism, make sure everything stays nice and tight. And, you know, you get into this, open it up, it's got all kinds of like cotton stuff. I bet you could use that for a fire starter. And we're going to try that out one of these days. I'm going to pull that stuff out. We're going to start a fire with it, see how that does. Do have this thicker piece of poly rope here. I'm starting to run out of this stuff. We're going to cut. Let's come in here and just cuts a piece off, makes a mess. Absolutely. So got that rope. We can do that. We got the thicker. Well, you know what? Before we get to that, let's do the fire hose. So here is a piece of fire hose, guys. This actually came off of a fire truck. It's old, used, beat up, been drugged through the mud, blood, and guts, if you will. This stuff is very cut and abrasion resistant. It is 3 layers. You actually have 2 layers of canvas. So there's 1 layer, here's a 2nd layer, and in that 2nd layer, you have rubber that's glued in there, right? So this stuff, again, it's made to be drugged through some, you know, jagged, rugged stuff. It's got to be cut resistant, abrasion resistant. So we're going to cut a piece of this off and see how well it does. Stand this up. Oh yeah, cutting through that nicely. So right there, cut through it, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. God, I'm old. So we're going to stab through this, guys. We're going to come in. Look at that. Pierced right through it. Let's double stack this. Let's go on top of here. Look at that. Tip is right there. So we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Went through 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of canvas and 2 layers of rubber, essentially. Man, my math is horrible. So, fire hose, yeah, it can handle it. Let's do this thicker sissy rope right here, guys. So this stuff is pretty abrasive to a knife edge as well. Cut right through. Bad part about this, whenever you go to cut it, it starts to fray and come apart. But was I able to cut some off? Yes, I was. Let's check this edge out here. Let's see. Well, it's still a pretty damn good edge, and that tip is still fine. Let's check the lock up on it. It's still good. You know what I did want to do? let's do this. I'm not expecting to chop completely through this. Again, I'm not going to come super hard down on it, but two, this is also light. So, you know, weight actually has quite a bit to do with when it comes to chopping. So I just want to choke back a little bit though, and I'll give us a little whip chop. Again, we're testing the lock, the lockup on this blade. So let's give it a try here. Ooh, that actually wasn't too bad. So doing a little whip chop, kind of took about half of that rope down. You can see right here, kind of went, and I probably went like this because when I came down, but it took about half that rope off. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good little whip chop. Edge is still good. You see that? Still sharp, so it's nice. What else we got over here? Oh, so we got the air compressor hose, guys. This is 3000 PSI rated air compressor hose. So we're gonna chop a little piece of this off. There it went. Right there. So a nice clean chop for a 3000 PSI rated hose. Come in here. Cut a piece off nicely. You guys can see that. And we're gonna kind of do a little press in. Oh yeah. That tip just penetrated right in there easily. Bam. Cut another piece off. So 3000 rated PSI hose. Check. We got it. But I got something different to try here. Let's give this a shot. So that was 3000 PSI rated air compressor hose. This is a 3000 PSI rated pressure washer hose. So yeah, OEM 3000 PSI. Okay, cool. It feels a little bit thinner. Thinner as in it's not as big around as the air compressor hose, but let's cut this piece off. The reason why I'm cutting this up, guys, is the threads got all jacked up. It won't go onto the air compressor or the pressure washer anymore. So tip pierced right in there. Oh, this is a little bit thicker. It's got like a white plastic in there. This has like a thicker kind of plastic in there. So it's got the black coating on the outside, and then there's like this thicker plasticky type hose that's in there, where compared to the air compressor hose, it is more of just the rubber with some like nylon strands in there to reinforce it. So this definitely has a little bit more kind of heavy duty thickness to it on the pressure washer hose, I would say. So let's give it a little whip chop here. Oh, that went flying way over there, but nice clean cut on there. Cut that off. So bam, we got the couple of different 3000 PSI rated hoses. Check. So blade still feels good left and right, side to side. This Damascus etching here on the side still looks good. It's not really wearing off. Then again, we haven't really cut through a ton of stuff with it. So let's get to that stab test, guys. We got the old catalog here. You guys can see that's a nice thick boy. So let's flip this around. One thing I do kind of like about the flipper, it kind of doubles as a finger guard as well. So if you guys can see there, I get my finger in there, it kind of comes over, especially in the reverse grip. It's got my pinky kind of protect it. So I'm going to stab into this box. Let's say the lock failed, right? So I got it closed, kind of closed, right? Let's say that lock failed. My finger's right here. My pinky is going to, one, stop it from closing on my hand. It's going to pinch the crap out of my finger probably, but it's going to stop it from closing on my hand. And number two, I feel like my pinky is going to keep it from even closing that far anyways. You guys can see that. That's if the lock happened to give, right? So we're going to find out. I'll let you know. Let's get a stab on here. Didn't feel like the blade gave or anything. That's a nice, good stab. So right there's the tip. And we got about, oh shit, I'd say about a good halfway through that catalog with that stab. That was penetrated pretty nicely there. Bam, right there's the tip. Again, halfway through. Actually, probably a little bit more than halfway through on that one. But man, that pierced in nicely. Left to right, we're still good. Front to back, we're still good. On left to right, front to back, we're still pretty good. Still feels nice. So let's say you are out in camping, doing some camping and stuff, and you do, yeah, I don't know, you get lost. You're hiking, you get lost. You gotta, this is the only knife you got. You gotta make some fire curls to start a fire. Let's see what kind of fire curls we can make of this bad boy. Now again, is this knife's primary function? No, it's not. But it is nice to know that it can or can't do it, right? So got some fire curls there. Are they the best fire curls in the world? Nope. But then again, I'm also not the best fire curl maker in the world. I do like to stick my knife into a stump and do it this way though, because I feel like I get a better result. I feel like I have a little bit more control over the wood. Look at that. Those would easily make a nice little fire. Here's a piece of I think this is seasoned almond wood, or this is off of some citrus tree, but this thing's a little bit old. Let's see what kind of. Cutting off the strips, but I'm kind of flinging them off. But again, that's why I kind of prefer to do it this way. Oh, see those curls there? So definitely can make some curls with it. That all still feels good. But you know what? We are going to do a little bit of batoning with this, guys, because I do, with that liner lock, like I said, it's got about, somewhere between 50 and 75% lock up there. I do want to test that out and see, can it handle the rigors of, getting pounded on a little bit, right? Because you may be working out in the field doing something, and maybe the knife slips and, you accidentally backhand your tractor or whatever, and you take a impact on the back of that blade. Is a lock gonna hold up? You know what I mean? I don't have gloves on, so I'm trying to be careful that if it does give, it doesn't close on my hand. No, that's held up good. That didn't close on my hand anyway, but we're definitely gonna put that pressure on the knife by batoning through this piece of branch. It's not super thick, Again, do I recommend doing this with any of your folding knives? No, I do not. It's not recommended. I do this for you guys to help you out, so you guys can get a good idea of how tough this knife is without, you having to put it through its own paces, unless you want to do that. So use this for a batoning stick. All right, I did not feel that give way at all. It stayed solid the whole way through. My left and right play is still good. Front to back is still good. Let's see this not chipped edge, but let's see this edge, because this is a thinner edge blade. Now there's no chips or rolls in it. So let's go through this piece right here. So it's smaller. Don't worry, guys. It's all right. We'll be okay. Awesome. So, smaller piece of wood, absolutely was able to baton through it. Let's do this piece of wood. Yeah, I know I'm getting a little crazy here, guys, but I want to make sure that if you guys are looking to invest in a knife, that you have a good idea of what it maybe can or can't do. So I'm trying to help you guys out. So we got this little stick right here. Oh yeah, this is definitely harder wood. Bam. This still feels the same, guys. It's still got a solid lockup. That lock is still fully engaged. The whole, sometimes when I do it with a folding, when I baton with a folding knife, sometimes I will feel that lock give for a second, and then the downward pressure pops it back into place. I did not feel that at all batoning this knife. And this check out the blade on the sides. It's got some little scuff marks from it, but it still looks very good overall. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, that was that last piece of wood I batoned through was a thicker piece of seasoned wood, and it went through there pretty good. So this was seasoned almond wood, split that pretty nicely. So cool. Now again, don't recommend doing that all the time. It's not necessarily good for your knife. Some knives may not even be able to handle that, and there is a possibility of failure, injure yourself, things like that. So definitely always try to be careful. Don't abuse your knives. This would probably void the warranty, so don't do that, right? So this tip though, I did say I was going to test this tip out some more. Again, I'm going to go with this reverse grip. We're going to stab into this piece of wood here. We're just going to stab in a bunch of times, and then I'm going to actually put some pressure on that tip by doing like a little, like kind of drilling a hole through here. So as I'm doing this, I'm also trying to feel for that lock to see if that lock's trying to give, and it did not feel like it was trying to give at all. Trying to maybe just the tiniest bit of play left and right now, but front and back it's still locked up solid. There's just a slight wiggle left and right, just slight. And I did bend the tip just a little bit. Yeah, I think on one of those stabs when I came in, I kind of rocked it this way, left and right, and I think that was just enough to slightly bend the tip, if you guys can see that there. So I did bend the tip a little bit. Again, it's not really necessarily a super thick tip, so yeah, I'm not surprised that happened going left to right. The way this tapers down and the thinness of the edge, it did leave it to a smaller, a thinner tip. So, and when I again cranked it left and right, it bent the tip. So that again is user error. That was, I don't think that, obviously if I hadn't cranked it left or right, it wouldn't have bent. I think it would have been fine. Let's try to, I'm gonna put this right here. Kind of a little weird doing it with a log. Trying to see if I could straighten that out a little bit. I got it a little bit straight, a little bit straighter. So if you're stabbing into very hard materials, I do not suggest cranking left or right, because it did bend the tip slightly, but it didn't break, which is good, and it's still got a needle point tip, so it's still a very usable knife. And that's something I think I can bend back pretty much straight. I might have to take a small hammer and lightly tap that, but I don't think that's, again, I'm using the knife for something that's not meant to be used for, and of course weird things like that can happen, so take that into account, people. But still opening and closing nicely. Well, still can't spidey flick it with my finger, but still opening and closing nicely, and the edge and the finish on this blade is still very nice. Just the tiniest bit of left to right wiggle now, front to back, still pretty solid. So overall, guys, I would say, for the price that you're paying for these Tranchodons from Shieldon, it's a very nice looking knife. It's a very solid knife. The locks wasn't giving out. The liner lock wasn't giving out, doing that batoning, hitting for your everyday normal use task. This blade is going to be perfectly fine and fantastic. Yeah, I bent the tip, but you got to think about what I was doing with the knife. I was actually using it for, I was doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing with a knife. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is a crap knife. It's not. It's a good knife. I just pushed it harder than what you probably normally would with your folding knife. So this isn't advertised to be like a hard use, heavy duty military knife, law enforcement knife or anything like that. So I don't expect, like when I do stuff like that, I kind of expected that if I did that, it was going to bend a little bit. So I don't fault the knife for that. I fault myself. So, but guys, if you're interested in picking up one of these Tranchodons from Shieldon Knife, definitely, I'm going to put some links to Shieldon in there. I think there's an Amazon link I'm going to add to that as well. Definitely go check them out. I mean, it's definitely a nice, very cool full-size folder. It's going to handle your EDC tasks very well. I don't think it's a bad knife at all. And actually, just that little bit of wood hitting, that tip isn't really bent that bad. I don't even think I really need to do anything. I can still carry this and use it, no problem. So I'm going to. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching. If you haven't hit that like, subscribe, follow, comment button, man, make sure you do that, please. It really helps the channel out. Share this with your friends if you think your friends might be interested, or if you're interested in anything else that I happen to do. And if you're into flashlights, bags and gear, EDC gear and stuff like that, make sure you go check out my other channel, Straight Edge Lights and Gear. I'm doing flashlight reviews, bag reviews, and things like that over there. So definitely go check that channel out if you're into that type of stuff. Got some cool things going on over there. It's a newer channel, so there's not a ton of content on there, but I'm working on it. But again, guys, Shieldon, very cool knife. I like it. Go check it out, links below. Stay safe, stay sharp. We'll see you on the next one.